Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of my chapter by chapter for From Below by Darcy Coates. I'm Di, and this is my audio-only reading vlog for this book. Today I will be reading chapters 25 through 32 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read these chapters yet, I suggest that you not listen to this recording until you have. So I'm really excited to jump in to chapter 25. Especially with everything that happened at the end of chapter 24 and all of the things that we have learned so far. Do we think that Aiden's ankle is being held by something, or is it just one of the boxes that are in the room that they're in? Not quite sure, but it definitely is giving a little bit of tension to the scene, so I'm really excited to get back into reading these chapters. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into chapter 25 right now, and I will check back with you in a bit. Okay, I just finished chapter 32. So, yeah. I don't really have much to say about these chapters. I guess we are getting more towards, finding out the answers about what's happened to the Arcadia. We're obviously coming into contact with more bodies. In chapter 32, you get a little bit more of an answers to what's going on with the people and the burrowing disease, but I'm not quite sure if the disease is viral or mental. I don't know. I'm not quite understanding that part. It seems as though all of this looking for the bodies in the hull of the ship is causing the frame of the ship to be unstable. They were talking about holes and things, so that's why water is starting to leak in. So I presume that the ship is going to eventually become too unstable, and that's what causes the hole in the ship and makes it sink. I can get also that, they might have gotten off course because of how thick the fog is, but I don't know what's going on with the passengers in the historical sections that we're reading. It just seems really weird that all of these people suddenly decide to take swan dives. I mean, we kind of started seeing it with the first man. And then I can understand why his wife would follow in her grief, but I don't know what chapter it was in. The mass amount of people that took swan dives onto the deck. Why? I don't understand. And then now we're talking about a burrowing disease. So something really funky is going on. And I don't know if it's viral, like I said, or if it's mental, because, after hearing scratching and stuff so long, and, a lot of people are thinking that there are more bodies in the lining of the ship after finding the one, even though they haven't found another one. That perceived auditory sound can, make one on edge, anxious. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. And the fact that the fog has this like nasty smell and taste, and it's like permeating everything. It's kind of gross. I mean, they've talked about it like practically the whole book, how the fog has this weird smell and tastes weird, and now it just seems like it's permeated everything, and it's yuck. But all of that's happening in the past chapters, the ones where we're getting story of what had happened before the Arcadia sank is kind of showing us a response to what our divers are coming up against while they are exploring the ship. And again, I know I've said before that I don't like this type of storytelling when we are constantly switching back and forth between past and present. I don't feel like it lends to any kind of uneasiness. And truthfully, I'm not sure that had the chapters from the past not been there, that I still wouldn't have enjoyed just the creepiness of what's going on with the dive without having all of those answers. Because really, if we didn't have the chapters from the past, we would be experiencing the dive with Cove and the dive team as they are coming across things and forming our own opinions about what happened. And I'm not sure if that would be creepier or if having all of this knowledge about what happened in the past makes what Cove and the dive team are finding in the ship creepier. I don't know. I do appreciate like the uneasiness that the dive team is coming up against in the water, like the little movement they see here and there, the eyes down the hallway. They saw the body in the dining room again, just a little bit, just through a crack in the door. And all of that, I'm really enjoying like the ambiance. It definitely does give a little bit of a creepy feel. But I think I'm more perplexed about what's going on in the chapters that are occurring in the past. I don't feel like there's a creepiness coming from those chapters. I feel like there's definitely something wrong, and I don't know if it's, like I said, viral or mental, but I feel like there's an answer to that. Whereas the exploration part in the current timeline could be more tricks of the eye, the mind playing tricks on our characters and things like that, not realizing that they'd be coming up against bodies is also causing a little bit of concern and anxiety amongst our divers and things like that also. So I think as far as like the horror aspects, I get a better feel of the horror vibe from the present chapters as opposed to the ones in the past. I'd be interested to know if you have a similar feeling or if you are getting more of that creepy vibe from the chapters that are occurring in the past as opposed to the ones that are occurring in the present. Like I had said in the previous episode, I'm not really like too creeped out, and I feel almost like we got more chapters that were set in the past in this section than we did with chapters in the current. And so maybe that's why I'm not feeling as uneasy. I also am kind of like wondering if all of this perceived creepiness that I'm feeling just has to do with the tricks of the eye and, the perceived movement that they're seeing in the water because it's dark. And, when things are not clearly visible, your mind starts to like make things happen, I guess. But is it actually like a supernatural thing going on? I'm not really getting that feeling. Like even when we were talking about Aiden and how it was like somebody's grabbed onto my ankle, I'd mentioned at the beginning of this episode that, is it actually something grabbing onto his ankle, or is it just, one of the boxes or something in the room that they're in? And it ended up being that the rope had wound around his ankle. So now I'm kind of like, okay, everything that happens is not like supernatural, that is just tricks of the imagination. And so I think that is like pulling me away from the atmosphere that I think this story is trying to convey, trying to give us as the reader. But yeah, I think this is probably just something that I'm having a problem with. But like I said before, I am enjoying much more the chapters with Cove and the dive team, even on just a plain adventure, discovery type mission that they're on. I enjoy what's going on in there more than the chapters that are occurring in the past, where we have some strange things going on with the passengers on the ship. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say right now. I feel like I rambled a bit. Yeah, I've just got a lot of like thoughts going on in my mind about the story right now, and I guess I'm not getting the feelings that I'm supposed to be getting about this book. I am enjoying what I'm reading, but I'm not getting those horror thriller vibes at the moment. I would say as I read more into the book, my feelings on the horror and thriller points, feelings on the setting is like decreasing. Like I would say at the beginning of this book, I was definitely more uneasy about what was going on, and I could definitely like feel that tension. But now I'm kind of not feeling that, I guess. So, yeah, and again, I think if I was watching this on a screen, be it a TV show or a movie, I would feel differently. But for whatever reason, my mind is not taking me to where it needs to be in order to be uneasy, I guess. I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking about these chapters. Are you feeling really uneasy about what's going on? Does it give you a little bit of a chill, a little bit of a horror feel? Because at this point in the story, like I said, I am not getting that. But I am enjoying what's going on so far. I am enjoying watching Cove and the dive team go around the ship and having that uneasiness in the underwater with their equipment malfunctions and things. But yeah, like I said, let me know down in the comments below what you're thinking about these chapters. Do you prefer the chapters that are in the past or the chapters that are in the current? Or are you appreciating them both? I would really love to know. And if nothing else, you'd just like to let me know that you were here. If you could leave me any kind of underwater emoji, that would be greatly appreciated. That would really help me out. And I will be back with you tomorrow for chapters 33 through 40. And I will talk to you then. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.